Hey guys, it's Miss Cannon today, coming in to review some math with you. Today on your agenda is comparing fractions. So as you remember, this is a review and we have done comparing fractions before. When we are only comparing two-digit fractions, it is a little simpler than when we get into comparing three fractions. So looking at this, one of the best ways to do this, one of the ways that we learned was the butterfly method, and that is where you multiply across to find out what the value is. So that is what I'm going to remind you of how to do today. You can also find the least common multiple like we do with the comparing three fractions, but this is going to be the quickest way, and I think it's the way that you guys like the best. So this is the one I am going to review. So when you are finding greater than, less than, or equal to, remember, you have your alligator mouse, and the alligator wants to eat the bigger one. So they should look like this. Okay, so what you're going to do is always multiply across and up. Okay, remember, if you go down, it's going to give you an invalid answer. So make sure you're going up. So I would do 4. I like to circle them. 4 times 5 equals 20. And then I do the opposite side. 8 times 3 equals 24. And then at that point, you just say which one's bigger, 20 or 24. And the alligator always wants to eat the bigger digit. And I like to draw the little teeth if you want. It's completely up to you, but it helps you, should help you remember. Zoom in a little bit. All right, so there's the first one. The next one, same deal. You don't have to draw the little lines if you don't want to. So on this one, I'm not going to. I'm just going to say 7 times 3 is 21. 8 times 4 is 32. So which one would be bigger? That would be the 4/7. So again, I'm going to do this. If you tend to draw a line through the middle of your little circle, remember, I always ask you to erase it just so I can tell exactly what your sign is. All right, and then the last example I have, 7 times 4, which is 28. All right, and then 5 times 6, which is 30. And there you go. I didn't mean for all of this to be greater than when I was writing my examples, but that is essentially how you do it. All right, this next portion is going to be comparing three fractions, which, like I said, it gets a little more difficult. So on your paper, you have this example, but I'm going to give you a different one. And then, yeah, I'm just going to give you a different one. Okay. The example I'm going to use is 2/3. And I'm going to set it up exactly like we did in class because I don't want you guys to get confused by what I'm doing here. Okay, they give you the 3, and on yours, make sure you're paying attention to whether it says least to greatest or greatest to least, because they're switching it up on you right here. Okay. All right. Anyways, back to the example problem. The first thing we are going to do with these is we have to find the least common multiple. So step 1, find least common multiple. And remember, we know that a multiple is when you count by the digit. Okay. So I always tell you to start with the biggest multiple. Okay, so look at the denominators. Which one's the biggest? That would be the 8. So start here. So I'm going to write 8, and I'm going to write its multiples. Okay, does 3 go into 8? It does not. Does 6 go into 8? It does not. So I'm going to go to the next multiple of 8. If I'm counting by 8s, I land on 16. Does 3 go into 16? No, it does not. So I can keep going. My next multiple is 24. Does 3 go into 24? Yes, it does. We know 8 does because we're counting by it. And does 6 go into 24? Yes, because 6 times 4 is 24. So this is going to be my least common multiple. Okay, you just need to go down the line and check them as you go. All right, once you do that, you're going to basically make equivalent fractions. So you're going to move these over here. Okay, and then just like we did yesterday, we made equivalent fractions. So 24 is going to be my new denominator because I'm comparing, I want them to be equal or the same denominator. That way I can tell if the top's bigger, which top is biggest and smallest. All right, so to get from 3 to 24, I know 3 times 8. So I need to do the same thing to the top. 2 times 8, which is 16. That one's finished. All right, this one I know, well, if 3 times 8 is 24, this has to be 8 times 3, right? So I do 3 times 3, because I always do the same on the bottom and on the top. 3 times 3 is 9. That one's finished. All right, and then here I know 6 times 4 equals 24. So 3 times 4 equals 12. All right, now these are my finished products. Now, my paper says put them from least to greatest. So, which one is smallest? 12, 9, or 16? It's going to be 9, so I need to write 3/8 first. 3/8, and this is the answer. Okay, I've used that one. I'm going to mark it out. All right, 12 or 16, the next smallest would be 12 24s or 3/6. So, and we always want to make sure to write it how it started. Go back to the original fraction. We only switched it to see which one was bigger. And then lastly, we have 16 24ths or 2/3. Okay, and that is how you do those. Comparing 3 fractions. Remember, just make sure that you go step by step, follow directions. I'm actually going to write the directions right here just for you. So the first step we did was look for biggest denominator. And then we listed the multiples for that number. Next, we compared the other denominators. Find a common multiple. After finding a common multiple, make equivalent fractions. And the last step is compare them and order fractions. Okay, I really hope that these steps help you, and the comparing the 3 fractions is probably one of the hardest things we do in 4th grade when it pertains to fractions. So just have patience with each other while you're trying to do this. If you have any specific questions or want me to show you a specific problem that they are working on, I will happily do that. just let me know. Just you can message me on Remind 101. I can actually send you videos on Remind 101 or pictures of examples. So that might be more helpful than Dojo if you need me to actually send you something. Just let me know. This is Miss Cannon, and I'm signing off. Good luck today, guys.